Good morning from the David Siddons Group. So today we got a special guest in the office, my beautiful, lovely wife, Michele Cozy Salazar of Cozy Salazar Interiors. So always, we're in two businesses that basically collide and are hand in hand. So let's talk a little bit about how you see the Miami market from your perspective.
So it's interesting because, we go home at night and we often talk about our work and our clients, and we have a lot of things in common that you wouldn't, naturally think, design and real estate. But yeah, definitely, especially the fact that we're seeing, so many different characters and people coming from different places. And our worlds meet in that sense that we're meeting new people every day. In
the last, say, year and a half, how have you seen Miami change and specifically the market and how it relates to your clients and doing certain projects?
So it's interesting because when all this stuff happened, what it's now been 3 years since this whole COVID broke out. And a lot of people in your business and in mine were kind of nervous, and they thought, oh no, what's going to happen? Is it going to come to a halt? Is construction going to stop? And it did for a short period of time. And then what we saw was a complete explosion. Once people realized that it's not the end of the world, it's not the apocalypse. Obviously, it was rough, but
people really prioritized their home a little more for.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're in your house, so many hours a day, especially with these lockdowns and things that were happening, and all over the world, not just in Miami. So people were home and they were realizing, hey, maybe I don't like this place so much. Yeah. Maybe there's some work that needs to be done. So either they were going to people like you to move completely, or they were going to people like us to redo their own space, or they were realizing that they wanted to move and that wasn't going to be an option because of the way the market was exploding. Yeah. And then they realized,
at that point, it was like a hesitation and almost like a slingshot for the real estate market and then of course for design work and stuff like that. And you've seen a ton of delays with certain things like appliances and construction and labor and stuff like that. Like we've also, on the real estate side, have seen basically the same thing as we don't have product. Yeah. There's no product to sell. Yeah. 2021, I feel like everything just got absorbed so fast. And then since then, it's just trickling in softly. We just, new construction just coming on, but at a very, very slow rate. So a lot of these new construction homes are really, really getting a lot of attention, or they're really the ones that are breaking the ceiling off of the
market. They're the golden eggs right now. Yeah. It's tough because they're golden eggs for a reason, right? It's one, there's very little brand new product that's done nice.
Or quality,
Yeah, exactly, quality. For multiple reasons, right? Either, the market has been completely absorbed and they've been bought, or the delays, right? So it's not so easy to have this new, beautiful luxury kitchen when appliances are taking sometimes 18 months to come in. So when somebody does have that finished product and it is available, oftentimes they're going for, record-breaking prices because it's just so much more special.
So the appliances you're selling appliances at record-breaking numbers, just like we're selling homes at record-breaking numbers.
We get emails all the time, and it's funny because I think what happens a lot with our clients specifically is the local ones, at least, because we do have from all over, but the local clients sometimes are experiencing this little period where they're like, do I go and look for a new home, rather than go through all the work, especially in this type of construction climate that we're dealing with the delays and everything. They're like, oh no, let me just go find a new house. And then they're realizing they're ending up in bidding wars and things like that, and they're saying, okay, wait, reverse, let me actually go back to what I was thinking before and love my house. There's that TV show Love It or List It. That's happening a lot right now, right? So they're saying, okay, no, maybe I will stay in my house if I can't find anything because all the people from everywhere else have scooped up these properties. So let me make my house work. Right. And they're being a little bit more willing to put in that extra effort, and even though if it's going to take a while, it's kind of the only option.
100%. So how do you have you seen a completely different type of client that comes to you now? Are you seeing more clients that are local, or they're coming from, other cities or?
I'd say it's 50-50. We have 50% local clients and 50% all new coming from other places. But what's funny is that you used to have this like characters welcome, right? You have all different types of personalities and in your business too, where you get to meet new people and meet new personalities and interact. But right now, regardless of personality, everyone is kind of in the same boat. Right. So your clients do have something in common, all of them, right? So we have our certain urgent clients and we have our clients who really go with the flow, but everybody kind of has to go with the flow now because there's only so much anybody can do. So we kind of just like, if we're gonna stay in your house and we're gonna help you and we're gonna renovate it and we're gonna design it, it's get along for the ride. It's gonna
Set
take a
the
while.
Expectations early.
Exactly, but it'll be worth it. And I think that everybody kind of understands that, which is in the beginning, it was really new for everyone and nobody kind of understood why things were taking so long. They knew about COVID, but they didn't understand the full extent of it. Now you can kind of see the overall picture.
So besides setting their expectations, like what else do you kind of like offer your clients, or how do you battle this climate that we're seeing here with with delays and
It's tough because there's really not a way to battle it. You just kind of have to roll with it.
Yeah.
Roll with it. And it's true. And I'm sure you see it with your clients.
But you can plan ahead.
You can plan ahead. And I'm sure you've seen with your clients, like, they go into it, they see a house that they love, they fall in love with it. If they don't move fast enough, it goes on to somebody else and they roll with it, Right. And then it finally leads them to being a little bit more urgent about it, making a decision. And I think the same thing happens in the design world, right? Because we used to have certain periods where we'd go back and forth on a house if we were designing, a house or a condo or whatever it was, where maybe the design process would take 4 months, 3 months. Now we're seeing this like urgency that's like, no, because everything's going to take so long. Let's just make decisions a little bit quicker.
Which could be good.
Yeah. So, it can be good. And I'm sure you've seen in your business, people sometimes make hasty decisions. So it's about guiding them and helping them and saying, look, yes, things are delayed, but
helping them make the right decision.
And I'm sure you face this. It's like, we can still find the perfect house. We just have to
stick with me.
Stick with me and believe in the process. That's what we see. Definitely. Like that's just the everyday here.
We do the same. We basically help people make the best decisions they can with all the information at hand to help people to make the best decision at that moment for them and their families.
Absolutely. And I'm sure that you see this happening too, but it's kind of funny because we have clients, say, who live in like a Mediterranean house. Right. And they lived in that Mediterranean house for 10 years and now they want something modern. Right. But then they go and look at what's available and it's limited. So they decide, well, maybe I'm just going to stick in my Mediterranean house and modernize it. Right. And I'm sure you see it with your buyers when they really need something specific, that while they're looking, they come across something that maybe is not their style, but it has all the right bones.
To work with it.
But it has all the right bones. Whereas, in a normal market, they might say, oh no, I'm going to keep looking for the house with the right bones, with the right amount of bedrooms, and my style. Yeah. Whereas now, I think you probably see, because we see it with our clients, a lot of people saying, no, I'll take this. This has the bones, and I can adjust and make it work for me. Because, it's not like you have 20 different modern houses to look at if you're looking for a modern house.
Yeah, no, it's like we always say, we people always ask us, oh, what's your style? Like, it's like, I don't know, something beautiful. You know?
Big bedrooms, big closets, big bathrooms is my style.
No, but we can appreciate a Mediterranean. You can appreciate the modern.
It's awesome, and I think it's cool because it's influencing some people to step outside their comfort zone too.
Yeah.
So we have a client from New York. We actually have another client from Washington who maybe the houses that they've lived in before are a specific way and they like them that way. But when they come here, they're opened up a little bit. Exactly. They're influenced. Okay, no, this house has all the right things that I want. It has the outdoor kitchen. It has this. It has that. All of these things that really embrace my new Miami lifestyle. Right. Maybe it's not my exact look, but I can make it my look. So. Yeah.
Are you seeing more clients of like doing new construction or remodeling? Or I know that when you really like your business really started taking off around COVID and stuff, and you started doing like the mobile designs. And you were doing like smaller things like that. How is this?
It's funny that you bring that up because it's been such one extreme to the other. So when COVID first started and we were worried that people weren't going to be wanting us to meet in their homes and how do you sustain a business that way, we introduced mobile design, which was basically like a virtual service, which I'm sure you guys had like virtual Zooms for
I used to go into properties.
Yeah, we all adapt. And so it's funny, we adapted one way to only adapt the complete opposite way later. So we introduced this like virtual design service for those people. And it's funny because it's gone the complete opposite direction. So we thought that's what we needed, and it worked, I guess, for the 5 months where there was that uncertainty. But then we saw the opposite happen, and people wanted to move into full renovations after sitting in those houses for 5 months. So the virtual service kind of has gone out the window for us.
The itch.
Yeah, we had to throw the virtual service out the window and now really focus on full renovations and full new construction, because it's actually where it went. So we thought it was going to go one way, and it went in the completely opposite direction. So now we're dealing with full new construction, full gut renovations, and some people are kind of just like.
No, it's funny how fast this has changed. Because I mean,
crazy.
just a few months ago, you had an office.
Swings.
No, you had an office right next to us, right here.
That's true. We had an office that we thought was perfect for us. It was small, like a little boutique office here in South Miami, and it was awesome. And our clients loved it because it was like 1 minute from all their houses. But then so many things happen, and I think that's the importance of both of our businesses is just adapting and being moving and not staying stagnant. Because if you need to make the best decisions for your clients and for your company, that may mean making a change, and that's kind of what we've done. We were like, okay, we just moved into this office, but let's pack it up and we're going to move somewhere else because we needed more space to start storing furniture and storing appliances for clients who may be doing new construction or maybe doing full gut renovation.
That's another huge thing that you're able to do now by moving from this location to a warehouse, basically with your office space, is that you can hold these because not everything arrives on time or arrives at the same time, so you can.
Part of that adapting thing. So when one of our partner real estate agents that we work with, or you tell me that you've got a client coming from Washington who needs my help, or from New York or wherever it is, a lot of the times they're on a timeline, right? Yeah. Because not only are they looking for the home that they're going to live in from wherever they are, but they also a lot of times need a place to stay in the meantime while they do any work to that place. Right. So what's happening is maybe while they're still living in New York, say, 6 months before they move here, they already know they're going to be purchasing a home. They're already reaching out to us in advance because, we know we're going to have to renovate to make it our own, and what do we do because everything's taking so long. So it's not like you can just buy the house and start the renovation, or you can, but you just have to be willing to wait a little bit. So what we're seeing is, let's go ahead and start the design concept. Once they've decided on a house, they already want to start working on that, and in that event, if that they're making decisions, in a good time frame, we're already placing those orders for them, and
timing is everything.
And it's better that it comes sooner than later. So I'd rather have all your appliances sitting in my warehouse than sitting where no one knows where they are, where they could be 10 months away. So we're placing orders a lot more in advance, and we're just adapting to make it the most comfortable possible in this kind of scenario.
Speaking of timing. So what's obviously different cities that you're doing either full construction projects in or renovations, they have different guidelines and basically time frames regarding the permitting process and stuff like that. How do you see that influencing people or buyers or builders, or how what's your experience with that? I think you're building a house in Miami Beach.
Everywhere.
Snapper Creek.
We've got Coral Gables, South Miami, Miami-Dade. We're doing all over. And it's funny because I think that clients are taking a very conscious overall approach. So they're not just looking at the aesthetics of everything. They're looking at the time frames. And, I really want to be in the Gables. So you just make sure that they know, okay, no problem. Let's do the Gables. That's awesome. But your renovation is going to take a little bit longer there, or your new construction is going to take a little bit longer there. And people are willing. They understand. Whereas if a client comes to me, no, what's important to me is new construction. It's not where I live. That's when I refer them to you, and I say her important, point, her and her husband, is that they want new construction. They don't necessarily care so much as per which area they're in, and we'll influence them maybe to go to South Miami, Miami-Dade, because it's going to be a little faster.
Like us, we flew through the permitting process. We did a renovation in Coral Gables that we were basically just waiting for I think it was 8-9 months. Just waiting to get started, and then we're building a newer, bigger house in South Miami, and we were in and out in maybe 2 months, 2.5 months through the city. So South Miami was actually a breeze. Everyone's like, oh, when are you going to start? And then
it just started happening. We really embraced though that idea that we're talking about for our clients, which is not feeling pressured, but making decisions and not sleeping on things too much. Because for you and I, at least, we had a beautiful house in Coral Gables, and we understood that it wasn't going to work for us for much longer.
Right.
And we didn't wait till the market got a little bit hotter. We knew that if you want to make, if you want things to happen, you need to move on them. So we sold our house. We didn't try to wait till the market got even more. It was already great. We sold our house, and we found a lot that we liked, and we bought it. We didn't have that much of a wait period in between.
No, it was they overlapped,
which really has benefited us in the long run, because now we're 10 steps ahead. I have a lot of clients who we were looking around for lots for at the same time, who were starting the permitting process, or actually just the architectural planning phase for their construction, and maybe they don't even have
really
their...
felt this crunch where now if we were to get into this whole process, we would be experiencing a little bit more
exactly. And
delays.
It's nice because the time period where all this has happened is 6 months when we sold our house. Now we're already starting construction. I have a lot of clients who are still just getting the permits for stuff that they were planning at that time. So it really is important to just be in anything in life, know what you want.
Exactly.
Know what you want and be ready to
And it'll be worth
act
it,
on
especially in such a strong market like Miami. To all those clients that you have that are like in the middle of a remodel, or it's taking a little bit longer, the new construction stuff, they're getting a little frustrated. Once we always say, like, once you finish the new construction or the remodel, and it came out exactly, like it came out great, and you're what we always say is that you're going to be holding all the cards.
Well, some of your return clients, I'm sure, are people who either are addicted to renovating or addicted to construction, right?
Best clients.
Exactly. Those are awesome. We love those. But, so many of those clients for us, they build one house and they do it exactly as they want it, to their custom home, and it becomes sort of an addiction. They live in it for 2 years and then they realize, okay, I want to do this again. Yeah. And it's funny because it's at times it's really painful while you do it, but it's just like childbirth. You forget and you do it again. So it's awesome when we see that happen, because, it's funny. We have certain clients who build one house in one style, and then 2 years later they want a different.
Oh, no, you promised me the next one's going to be full modern.
Yeah. We'll see about that. Changing every day. But, it's fun when we can refer you guys clients who we are like, this client loves to move. This client has decided, this house no longer works for her. She just moved in there 5 months ago. It's really great because, just adapting and moving along and just to be happy. I mean, that's what everybody wants at the end.
Talk to us about your team. Like how many people you have working in the office? What do you,
So that's another.
Who is Cozy Salazar Interiors? Yeah.
So that's another kind of place where things went in the opposite direction, right? So when all that stuff happened with COVID, and I was thinking that, okay, this whole like one team thing works, and I had one assistant, and it was perfect, just like that. We were taking on really limited clients, and then the volume.
How many did you have, like, more or less?
At the time, it was probably just like five really solid, good.
And then, of course,
projects.
the mobile designs on the side.
Yeah, which we did on the side, but those are in and out. Yeah. They're very quick. So that was great. And then what happened is that we saw a flood of just emails coming in and inquiries, and it was frustrating for me to be turning down such attractive projects and urgency. It used to be that, you'd give a proposal to somebody and it may take them 3 months to kind of come back and decide to do it. You had people who were ready to move.
Real fast, all of a sudden you're like,
you had people who were,
babe, I need an office.
Yeah, you had people who were calling you ready to start work within weeks. And it stunk to have to turn those down because obviously we wanted to serve our clients.
We're getting the same type of calls here. I'm
move.
Moving from California. Yeah. I need a house in 2 months, George. You need to find me a house.
And that's the
no
thing
pressure.
Is act on it.
Yeah.
You want to be able to act on it, and you want to be able to jump on that client right away. But what was happening to me was, in order to serve everybody the best, we had to turn a lot down, and I didn't want to do that anymore. So basically, the team grew and grew and grew, and now I'm a team of 6. So we're a boutique firm. We're small, just like you guys are a small group. I find that people really love that because somebody can get on the phone, they can talk to you, or they can talk to David. It's not that they have to go down this like large chain of people to have a conversation with. So
it's the same thing. It's a personal.
It's a very personal business. So we've kept the team really small, but from what I thought was going to stay at 2 and be like a private little tiny company has grown to 6, and that's been really fast. So I'm always rolling with it, and if there's a lot of new clients still coming, which they are, we adapt and we hire more. But right now it's really nice, and it's fun for us because it's always been fun to create, but now you're getting to create off of something that gets placed in front of you. You get to make choices. We get 10 new project inquiries, and we get to look at them and decide which ones really fit our brand and stuff the best.
That's awesome.
That's made it on. Yeah,
so the future is bright.
Yeah, the future is bright.
Yeah. For you and for the real estate market down here, we do feel like Yes, like we've experienced some, you know, ups and downs in the past, but I feel like for like now, like Miami has kind of grown up, and basically people always now, you know, we have the same conversations with many people, you know, it's because the Miami market is just like what everyone's talking about, like, oh my God, is this sustainable? What's going on? You know, this is crazy. But for a really long time, I've always said that I felt that Miami was completely undervalued, you know, compared to any other major city in the United States or abroad. I mean, we were very cheap, you know, in comparison to, you know, New York, California, London, Paris, all these, you know, and then I think with this, you know, with this COVID and everything that happened a few years ago, I think
broke the ice.
It's kind of broke the ice. People started working remotely, starting to figure out that, like, hey, maybe I don't need to go into the office so much, or I've been working remote, and, you know, and then of course the taxes, and then the weather and stuff. So Miami has like
been discovered. That's
it's been
for sure.
discovered,
and I
mean,
don't think it's slowing down.
Yeah.
You know, if there's anything to take away from, you know, the amount of inquiries that we get, just like you guys get. I mean, I know your phone's ringing off the hook all the time because I live with you, and it's something that to be said with that is like there's not really a slowdown happening. Yeah, maybe things are balancing out.
Well, there's just nothing to buy,
Exactly.
so it's a weird time.
But
But
it's still very busy, and Miami's still very attractive. I mean,
like we said, like the inventory is trickling in.
It was cool to get a call from a New York client who was moving here, you know, once upon a time. Now it's like, it's normal, you know, it's normal to get a bunch of calls from California or from New York or from Washington, you know, it's a bunch of different things. And
Chicago, I think you have a Chicago client too.
We got a lot of clients from Chicago. Yeah. That's actually a good point. You know, it's funny because a lot of people love where they live. And it's not to say that they don't love where they live, because they do. But there's different aspects and things that are influencing their decisions.
They're willing to try something new.
Yes.
And that's funny because we mentioned all these cities in the United States, but we've also, like, I've seen people from Sweden.
International.
A ton of international for sure.
It's really cool. It's really cool, and it's fun. It's fun to work with people from, you know, different areas and show them kind of our Miami flair. And I think that they're really happy. That's for sure.
Well, we're here to sell you the Miami package.
Yeah, design, real estate, everything. But they really do go hand in hand, and it's funny because we have clients who maybe purchase a home with another agent, you know, and they come to us and they're like, you know, we got this house, we absolutely love it, it's wonderful. What can you help us do? And, you know, we give them our 2 cents. We help them improve the house, and those same clients often will return and say, okay, now I'm ready for something else, or I have a cousin now who's moving down, and then, you know, I always love referring them to you guys. That's a blast. But it's awesome because it's kind of just like this domino effect. One friend moves and talks about how wonderful it is to live here in Miami, and then all of a sudden that person's cousin's coming and their sister, and it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, no, it's
and it's great for our businesses.
What we're experiencing here is definitely something for the ages that we'll be talking about for a long time, and so thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For joining us this morning in your busy schedule.
Thank you.
It's always nice to see you.
See you at dinner.
See you in a little bit. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day.